Hello everyone. As my voice is, I hope my voice is audible for all. So let us wait for 1 or 2 minutes. After that, we will start the session. After everyone joined the live. So before that, you join early. If you have any doubts and if you have any queries, you can ask me in the live chat. I will be there and I will just answer to all your questions. Okay. So basically, it is going to be the 4 days of React.js workshop. Today is the last day. And if you're coming here for the first time, and if you want any, so we will provide participation certificate also for those people who attend the 4 days of workshop and filled a Google form that we provided it in the chat box. So if you missed and if you want that certificate, then the live is already there in our YouTube channel only. So you can go for our YouTube channel and you can watch our recordings. And the live chat is also enabled till Monday. Okay. So you can able to watch the videos and you can able to get the Google form while the live chat is running and you can able to fill the Google form. And once you fill the Google form of all the 4 days, you will receive an participation certificate from the team of TW. Okay. So yeah, if you are in and tell your name in the chat box, we'll start our session. And yesterday we have covered about some of the basic things, how JavaScript, how can we use most of the JavaScript concept in React.js and where all we can use it, those things we have covered it. And today we're going to see about the most two important topics. So from here itself, the basic is going to be done. So what are the two important topics? One is event handling and another one is going to be sets like hooks. We're going to cover that. Actually, not hooks. We're going to see about states and how can we handle the states with hooks. Also, we're going to see. And if time promises us, we will see about how we can able to handle the state in classes also. But classes not needed, so we will discuss that later. Okay. So yeah, proper. And yesterday I shared you resources also. Today we're going to follow the same resources and we're going to check out all the other things what we can do. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So I go for the website called dwebdev.tech. Okay. This is the website. And if you go for it, webdev.tech, click it here. You can able to see this one. Okay. So this is not actually for like blogging purpose. So this website is not that much well built up. So we are keeping this website for a resources purpose only. So you can access here if you go for a particular domain and niche, you can go here. And here you just want to scroll down and what you need to do, you need to click on this. Sorry, what you need to do is you need to click on beginners. Somewhere in beginner, okay, or type here React, click enter. On React and here beginners it will be there. Just click here and here you can able to see around hundreds, more than 15 projects that you can able to see and the tutorial data that you can able to see here. Okay, you can see create YouTube player in React.js from 2018 itself. All the things that has been documented. So now, sorry. Now what we're going to see is yesterday we have done with the beginner level, right? So the same thing that we're going to continue here. So yeah, this is the React.js tutorial for beginner number one. So here, let me go for event handling, and before that, we need to see about states. Okay, so this is the differences. I just informed yesterday. So like have a look into those. What is props and states, and that will really helpful for you. And props is going to be it is get passed through the components. Like say you want to pass information from one component to another component, we will use this props And what is going to be state? State is the centralized area. It will be managed within the component. Okay, it is like a like centralized area where within the component anyone can access it. Okay, by calling it. Okay, instead of you can say like it's also like a variable and also it has a function, and we can use the variable to get the data wherever inside the component, and we can able to use the function to change the variable. So that's what it is. We will discuss that also pretty complex, pretty very easily. So you can see props is like a function parameter. We have got basically function parameter too. We will pass pass. It will get the value from an outside and it will pass the value to inside, right? So props is basically like that, and we will just get the value and we will pass it from one component to another component to another component. Like that, we can able to pass it here. And here you can see, like I said, like variables declared in a function body. So inside a function body, so which means that state is accessible only inside that function, right? So same like this. Here also, if you created a state and that state is accessible only inside that particular component. Okay. And props are immutable, which means it is not changeable one. Okay. Once you created a props and you cannot change it later further if you as you like, you cannot change it. Okay. But state can be changeable one. So remember the first day that we have discussed about what is immutable means it is not changeable. Okay, but here it is changeable, mutable. So why props are immutable? So props basically is going to be a data that we are getting and we are sending it. That's what it is. And what a state it is going to be? State is also going to be a data, but it determines the stage. It determines my stage of my application. For example, uh, like I said, React in React, we never touch the DOM properties and we don't want to tell how you need to perform this kind of DOM operation, how you need to perform. We don't want to tell it. Go and get the element, go and change the inner. We don't want to tell it. Simply, we will have an initial stage and we will have the final stage. And if an event occurs, the initial stage is need to change to final stage. And React finds an optimized way how we can able to achieve this particular changeable thing. That's what it is. So for that, what we need, the initial stage is actually the initial state property that we are having, the initial data, and the final stage is going to be the final state property. So when someone clicks it, when someone do any event handling, like any what we can see, like any interaction with the website, if someone clicks it, double clicks it, right? So during this thing, what will happen? This stage will convert it to this stage. So people say that if someone clicks it, change this data to some other data. So if the data is changed according to that, I need to change something. So like this, we need to do. So this is a changeable one. The states are changeable one because, for example, if you click it, the button need to show. If you click again, the button need to remove, right? So how we can achieve? Well, we can achieve it with the state. So this is changeable one. But props or actual data, we will send it from one component to another component. Just imagine you are trying to change the component, then there is no use of sending the data from one component to another. Because I want this data, that is why I'm sending the data to the another component. If I change it in between them, then why I want to do this, right? So props are immutable. We are not change anything, but state it's a changeable one. It will change according to the events happening in our website. So that's what it is. And then we're going to have props. It's going to be function. Yeah, how can we access the props? So in function component, we basically access the okay. Okay. So props is going to be the function, like in normal function component, you just call the props and that's fine. And here this dot props is going to be the class component. So we discussed about that. If you want to access, just call the props and then you can destructure it. And in class-based component, you need to call this dot props. And here also, here you can use function component. If I use function component, we have some hooks. So basically hooks are pre-built thing to handle the state. Okay. So it will make our work much more easier. So we can use it for each and every hook is built for a certain purpose. We can use it and we can achieve whatever we wanted. So for example, here they mentioned use state. And here you can see we have class-based component. If I use class-based component, if we want to create a state and if you want to access a state, you need to say this dot state and the state name and everything that you need to do. Okay. So scroll down and we just go and create a class-based state and we will achieve this functionality with our application. So yeah, let us go here and sorry, go to the folders. Again, I'm going to the workshop. I think this is the workshop React one, opening it with the VS Code, closing down. So this is. So now what I'm going to do? Okay. So what I'm going to do this? I just create a component, and here in this component, we're going to say that class state. So I just going to say class state dot JSX. Okay, class dot JSX is going to be the component, and here we're going to create a class based component. So I just going to say React. Okay, so import component from React. So this is the component that we're going to be use, and here I just going to say class, and this is going to be our state. Okay, so I just going to say, for example, what can I say? Count state, like this. Any name, count state. Okay, this extends from component. Okay, and here, well, the first thing we need to render. Okay, and I just going to say return. Okay, here I just informing the h1. Okay, I just going to say count. What, like this? Okay, right away. So this is a component that we know how to create a component by using class base. So I just going to say export React export count state default. Okay, and what we can do, we can import it in the place of app, and let me remove all the things here. We don't want all the things now, so I just going to remove the hero carousel and everything, and even now I don't want it, and I just going to say class component is going to be class state. Okay, this is a component. Let me import the class state from slash component slash we need to say class state.jsx. This one. Okay, and now let me use the git bash as a terminal and just remove this one. Go here, check the folder that you are in, and type npm start. Okay, and here just a minute. I think here we will get out. Yeah, the server is starting. Just wait, the development server is started. Okay, so here we are getting the result. So let us add this one and keeping this one as well. Okay. On this one, here, yeah, that's here. So now we are getting that component is not defined. Okay, so we make a mistake. That's why it's not coming here. Where we make a mistake, let us go for the class state. And here you can see we make a spell mistake. Okay, check this bill and run it clear, and you can able to see we are getting the top. So basically, what we're going to do, we're going to create a state for it. So how can we create a state? We all know that how to create a state, and where this one, yeah, this one. You can see we need to use constructor property. So what is constructor property? If you know about ES6, the classes, Constructor are the one that will holds the data inside the classes. That is the default function that will help it. And here we will going to give props and the super. Why we are using super? The super method give access to all the default methods that are available component and the methods that are available. I know we don't want it, but we're going to access it. So this is the default thing: constructor props and super props. That's it. Once you've done this, let's create your state and tell what all other things that you want to enter. So this dot state equal to what is your state? That's what you need to do. So let's go and just create it here. So what I'm going to do in the class, remember that before render in the top of that, you need to mention it. So I'm just going to say uh, constructor is going to be that. And if here we're going to get the props, okay. And I'm just going to say super with the props. Okay, and here now you can set your state. So the state is going to be this dot state. So the particular component I'm going to set a state. So that is going to be an object. The object is going to be count, and the count is equal to is an object. So the count is going to be 0. Okay. So now if I want to access this object, okay, sorry, it's not if you have the object, you need to give a command. So now if I want to access this object, let us come here. We all know that how to access an object, right? So yep, how you can see in class this component, if you want to access the state, you need to use this dot state and whatever the state name that you have given to them. So now I just go here and I'm going to write JavaScript code. So if you want to write a JavaScript code inside an HTML tag, which means the JSX, what you need to do, you just want to use this curly braces, and inside the curly braces you can perform all the JavaScript concepts. So now I just want to access the variable that is in my state. I just going to say this dot state. Okay, it's going to be the state probability, and I just say this dot state dot, and we have remember correct check this bit and ask for it. And paste it here. And now you can able to see that we are getting 0. Right? So we are getting 0 here. So this is how we will create a state, and from the state we can able to access it. So now this value is common it's like wherever inside this component you can able to access the state. Okay, just by calling this dot state dot and whatever the state that you have given, you just call it. Inside this component you can able to access it. So what if you want to send this state value data somehow to another component? How can you do? Well, then you need to send the state as a prop and then you need to send it to it. So now it is not going to be a state, it's considered as a prop, just a data. Okay. But as long as it is a state, we can able to manipulate it and we can able to change it also. So, but when it comes to the props, it is immutable. We cannot change it. It's just a normal data. That's what it is. And now let us go to the next one, next thing. Let's see what is the next one. I hope it will be the function based component. No. So you can able to see that a pretty complex thing will be here. So what does that means? So whenever we want to add an event handling with the state, okay, so there are so much of things that we need to use because we need to because of this keyword complication. So we need to tell to the component like this refers to the particular class like that we need to tell to it. So for that you can able to see some yellow color back they have mentioned it. So you can see they use the bind method to bind this value and they use that. This is not that okay to that. So that is why you can able to use arrow functions. So if you learn ES6 and in arrow function, you can notice that arrow function is not only a function that is going to reduce your syntax, and also the function it will help us to change the scope of the this. So whenever you are using a class this component, if you are using an arrow function and if you are calling for this dynamic scope is always refers to the root object. So here the root object is going to be this counter component. So they have created it. So you don't want to use this bind method. This is an alternative way that you can use this also. That is fine. But this is pretty easy and straightforward if you use this arrow functions. So much more simpler to understand. So now if someone, let's see how to add an event listener first and then we will jump into that. So let's say we're going to give an button tag. So before that, we need to wrap the component with a fragment or a div to because it need to return a single element. So I just going to say button. Okay. So and the button is going to have click. Okay, and here I'm going to add an event listener for this button component. So for adding event listener, you just say on click. If someone clicks it, it is going to take something, and you can able to call something called a function. So I don't have a function. Well, we can create a function. I just going to say handle event. Okay, so just create a normal function. Like it is going to be act like a default method because it is in a class. So it is in the prototype. So whatever you are creating, it will be created once, not in the multiple times. That's also the easy. And here I just going to say control.log. Okay, hi, like this. Okay, and now here I just go here and I just call the handle event. Okay, this dot handle event, not normal handle event. Just check out that. So where you can see this dot increment counter, this dot one. So why this? Because the this is always supposed to the class. So that's what it is. But here it is, we're going to got a problem. So that is why we're going to pass a function. So now if I save it, okay, and I just go for inspect, and if I just ask it in the console, okay, and here you can able to see, oh, we haven't clicked it, then what happened? Okay, so where the how it is. Okay, so we invoked the function here itself. It is simply mentioning it. Okay, when someone clicks it, it need to invoke. You don't want to give the invocation here. So now if I go and click it here, you can able to see we are having this type and we have attached it towards it. But now here you can able to see instead of I just check for what is the this, what is going to be this. Inside this function, what is going to be this. If I want to check it, you can able to see this is act like an undefined. So instead of the this need to focus on this one, right? So this class, but the this is act like an undefined. So because it is inside a function, so you know that the scope inside a function it will always refer to the Windows object. So right now here it is not having any Windows object and we are not storing anywhere there. So that is why it's giving me an undefined. So now I need to tell the this, hey, the this is refers to this class. So how can I do this? Well, you can add an arrow function functionality. And now, if you ask for the what is this, just create, click, and yes, which one? Here, yeah, arrow function. Yeah, while using arrow function, you need to invoke this. That's the main. Okay, so normally if you are calling, you don't want to do anything, but while using arrow function, you need to invoke. Okay, so that's what. Yes, sir. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I just going to click here. You can see now that this refers to count state. So what is count state? The count state is going to be my class. But initially, if I don't give an arrow function, what does this refers to? This refers to something called as undefined because the function is within the class, but this keyword is looking for an object that to find. So here we are not able to find. And here you can able to see the state. And now I can answer this if you give an arrow function. I can simply say if I want to change the state, this dot set state, uh, okay, you can able to use this set state, and this set state is going to be the default method that helps us to change your state. So here I just going to say set state, and you need to remember one thing: if your state is an object, then you need to give an object. So just going to say count. Okay, what is going to be count? So what is going to be count? And like let's see what they added and then here we see. You can see what they have added. This dot state dot count equal to, okay, I think, oh, I messed up. Oh, yeah. So here you can see. So here you can see this dot state and you can able to see it is an object. So they added the object and you can able to see the count and count is inside this. And what I want is I want to access this state. So I just going to say this dot state dot count. If someone clicks it, every time, whatever the value is in my state, increase the value by one time, like this. Okay. So now, if I click here, you can able to see what. If I click it again, you can see 2, 3, 4. So what is happening? Each and every time, the initial state is going to be 0. But whenever I'm clicking that, the state is going to be increased. And remember that again, I'm telling you need to use either arrow function or you need to bind your this keyword with your class. Then only this dynamic scope is changed and the scope refers to the particular classes that we have created. First thing. And then second thing is the state is going to be the default functionality. It is available in class-based component. You can use the set state. So what this method will do means it will change your state. And third one. So the third one is going to be if you look at your state. If your state is an object, then pass an object. Don't forget that. If your state is a string, then you can still pass your string and you can able to change it. And once you've done this, and remember that whenever the state is changing, okay. So the main concept when it comes to reactors, so we need to understand when React renders and when React re-renders. So this is the concept that we need to understand here. So here when which all are the time the React renders and re-renders are. So initially the state is loaded, the React render the component, and whenever the state is changing, whenever the state is getting changed, so what will happen? The React re-render the component again. To see this, for example, we just say here console.log is going to be my one. So here we're going to setting our state, and here in return keyword, I just going to say another console.log, and here it's going to be 2. Okay, so this is going to be my second state. So now I just going to refresh it here, and if I you can see right now what happened 1 and 2, right? Because the state is set and the React render the component. So now I'm going to change my state. I click it here, the state is going to change. The state value is going to be changed. If I click it here, you can able to see the state value is changed, and now you can see React render this component again. So this is called re-rendering. So whenever you are changing the entire value in the state, what will happen? The component is get re-rendered. So this is why automatically the values are updated. You don't want to do anything. So once I click it, so the sudden changes has happened because the React re-render the component whenever the state value is going to be changed. Okay, so that's what happening here. So this is basically event handling and then state or maintaining state in here. Okay, in class-based components. So if you like to learn more, you can learn it here and you can able to use it. Okay, and there are so much of other things is here called as lifecycle methods. And with the help of lifecycle methods, you can able to do after React re-renders. I want to do something. Once React renders something, I just want to do something. So you can use those things and all. So right now we are not going to touch that one. Okay, we're going to see about class-based components. So I just go for here. I just going to say function state. Fun state. Okay. JSX. And let us create a function component. Okay. Okay. System net. Yeah. So let us create a function component. So I just going to say here I just created the default one, and here what I'm going to do is here I just going to simply say we're going to create our own state. So in function, how can I create the state? Okay, go for our resources. Let us have take a look into here, and in function you can notice that it will be mentioned as hooks, right? It will be mentioned as hooks. With the help of that, you can able to use it. So how can I use the hooks? Then scroll down, these all are function component. I think yeah, these everything is function component. So let us go for day something other, day 6. So here you can destructuring, you can able to see the destructuring, and 6 is also we have did this everything we have already seen. Okay, let us go for day 7. Day 7 methods on props. They added methods on props. Okay, I don't need it. I will tell you without resources. Okay, so after that you can find it out where the data is present. Okay, so I just what you need to do is first you need to set a state. So for setting a state, you need to use a hoop. A default hoop is there to set a state that is called as use state. Okay, so you need to import that one. So I just going to say import. Okay, and just say use state. Okay, this is the hoop that we want. Okay, so this will help us to create a state for our function-based component, because functions are basically function. They don't have any value to store. They don't have any particular method to store values and everything, right? So here we're going to create our own. Okay, so that's actually going to be the use state group is going to be. Okay, so yeah, so now like going to say const uh const. So before that, what can I say is here I just check for console.log. What is use state? Okay, we need to check that, right? Something I say use state. What is use status? So let us check that one. I just going to clear it out, and let us go for this. Remove this. Remove this. Remove this. Go here, and let us add in here in bottom of here. Okay, even I just comment of this class, and I just going to add a function based component, and I just going to say func. Okay, just a minute. You can see we mentioned it in small letter. That is totally wrong. We need to mention it in caps. Okay, and here I just going to say function state. You can see. Just click here. It will be added automatically. Just slash and save it. So now nothing is here. You can able to see here. Use state is going to be a function. So let's see. Let's just invoke the function and see what is that. I just invoke the function and what it is going to return. Well, basically, it is returning an array. You can notice here, the use state is returning an array. The array, the first value is going to be a value, a data is going to contain some data, and that is undefined. And the second value is going to be a function. So what is this? What it does contains? What is the use state is contains is? So basically, the use state contains two things. One is the data, and the second one is going to be a function, and the data is going to act like our state. Okay, so for example, here inside that you can able to give the data. For example, I just say we have, let us say, zero is our count. Okay, I just say zero. So now you can able to see what the use state is returning. Instead of undefined, it is returning zero, and you can able to see zero. At this zero, it is going to be our state. Okay, so like there we will create the state and we will say this dot state is equal to zero, right? Same count is equal to zero, like that we say. Here, same the state is going to be there. And what is this function? So in there we will use a default function called as set state. So what set state do? It is used to update, change your state, right? So this function is also going to do it. So now what we can do is we can destructure this use state. Okay, basically this is going to be the right one that we will do for every component is I just say const and we will use destructuring. This is an array, so I just going to use square bracket, and here I just going to say use state, and I just going to say one. Okay, so here it is going to contain two values. The first one is going to be the value, so I just say value. Okay, and the second one is going to be a function that is used to set a new value to this value. So I just say set value like this. Okay, now in the console log, let me ask what is value. You can able to see we are getting the one that what we have given here. So now what we can do is we can simply write count dash, and here I'm going to write JavaScript. The JavaScript code is going to be valid. So now if I write it, you can see we are getting count. So let me write it in the H1 tag. Okay, and cut it out and paste it here. Okay, and then let me add a button, and then I just say click like this. Okay, mass name, like this. That will be added. So now what I'm going to do here in this value, you can able to see we are having the value. So how to handle the events here? How to add in the events here? So if someone clicks it, something need to happen. So how can I do that? Okay. So here there is no worry about the this keyword. So you can go as quick like directly. I just going to say on click. Okay. So on click is going to be the click I just want to add. And here I just going to say what I want to do. So I just want to say someone clicks it. So here itself, I'm going to give the arrow function functionality. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I just going to say return. Okay. So if you want to access that one, if you want to change the state, I just going to say set value is going to be the function and change it to value plus one. And now if I save it here and if I just click here, you can see every time it is happening. So simply I'm passing an arrow function, or else you can create a separate function here and you can able to pass it here also. So here I'm just passing the arrow function and I just going to give return and what it need to set. So the set value is going to be the function that is going to change our value. So what I say, what is the value and just add one here. So now I just refresh it here. You can see it will be work. So it is going to change each and every time. And the same concept applies here. So whenever the state is assigned, it is going to have a new value. So what is going to happen? The React is going to render the components. Okay. So you can see here. Here I just say console.log to check it how many times the React renders the component. Okay, console.log and I just going to say what. And now if I save it, clear, you can see initially React renders if I click. So whenever the state is changing, that time it is clicking. So why we need to render the component? Why it is rendering? Because it need to get the latest version of the value. That's what it is we are getting, right? So that's what it is. And instead of doing this, what we can do, yesterday we discussed about an array and things and everything, right? So let us apply that one. I'm just going to give an array, and this array is going to contain an object, and the object is going to contain the name. Okay, the name, let us make this to John. Okay, and then I just want to mention the age equal to, let us say 56, and let me create. And because you cannot, we are not supposed to create a variable like array yesterday we have created. So whatever the data that you want to manage, you want to send it in a state and you need to manage it. Okay. I just say John and here I just give like this and let us go here and yeah, we are facing an error. What is this? Because the value we added something like this. Objects are not valid, right? Okay, let's see what is the error. What is the error that we are adding? Inch. Yeah. So let me do one thing. We remove this one. Okay. We don't want this one. And also we don't want this one because what is happening is we are entering the value, right? So the value is going to be an object. So object we are not able to display it. So that's why. So I just going to remove this one like this. Okay, but keep it simple. Now it is working. So now what I want to do, if I want to render this, what can I do? Well, we know how to do it. Let me do this. So I just going to say, so I need to map through the function and I need to things like get the things back, right? So what can I do this is I can simply say, what is the array? Value is going to be an array. So just say value is going to be an array. So just say map and it is going to contain an arrow function. That function, that function is going to return for something. So what it is going to return is return an object. So I just going to mention it as the data. And here I just going to say it is going to return a data. The data is going to be an h1. Okay. And here I just going to say the h1 is going to be data dot name. Okay, like this. And the next one is going to be I just want to create data.age. Okay. And then I need to wrap it with a single component. So I'm just going to create a fragment and do this. So instead of doing this, what you can also do, well, you can able to pause at different, create an separate component, right? Separate component and pause it here, it will be fine. Okay, so now we can save it. You can able to see this one, uh, all the data that we are rendering here. And now you can able to see that it is telling that I'm not able to identify any unique identification mark in each and every time the render. So what can I do? Well, it is make this as a div, okay, and we can pass the unique identification mark. So here that we don't have any unique identification mark like ID and all. So what we can do in map method, we have the index. So let I carry this index as my unique identification mark. Here I just going to say key is going to be my ID. So every time the loop renders, the unique identification mark is going to be rendered. So now I refresh it, you can see there is no error. Don't care about this manifest error. That is not actually an error. That's what it is. We have done. So now what you can do, you can add all your state here and what I want to do. So for example, if I want to do anything, what can I say? Like if someone clicks something, okay, if someone clicks something, I need to change. I need to change this array into and different array. So how can I do this? How can I do this? Okay. So what can I do? Let me do one thing. Yeah. Let me add a button here. Not here. Here. Let me add a button, and the button is going to have VIP. Okay. And here you can able to see the VIP. I'm just going to see class name equal to btn dot like this. Okay. So like, and that is fine. And if someone clicks it, then what I need to do, I need to show the person they have only VIP access. So I just going to say VIP, okay, and I just going to say VIP access true, okay, like this. And here the VIP access for this person is going to be false, okay. So let us filter down this and see how can we get this. If someone clicks this one, I need to I need to check, I need to do some conditional checking and I need to send an VIP access. So for that, what we can do is, well, we can just close this and close this. Okay, this is a single state. And here I just going to say const. Okay, this is going to be VIP value, and I just say state VIP value. Okay, and here it is going to be an use state that is going to be an empty array, actually an empty array, nothing is there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is here, if someone clicks it, and I just want to, someone clicks it, I just want to here, I just want to going to say uh, VIP value dot length, okay, is greater than 0. Okay, okay, because right now it is 0, so it's greater than 0. Then I need to do something. What I need to do something is i just want to perform VIP value dot, so greater than something, I just need to say VIP value dot map method. Okay, and here I just want to say value. Okay, and here I just want to say this value, and I just want to return. Okay, return return an h1. Okay, h1, and here I add the span tag and mentioning it as VIP. Okay, and here the VIP is going to be the value dot name, the person name, value dot name. Okay, value dot name like this. And here I just give a space between them. Okay, like this. Then we added this one and we are having some error because we want to give the next one. If it is If it is like, if it is not, then what I need to do? I just want to say, uh, click to see VIP. Click to see VIP. Okay, the string. I just want to add a string here. Okay, like this. You can able to see click to see VIP. So let me add this as an H1 tag and H1 tag, and I just say click to see VIP. Okay. So now you can able to see this one. So now what I want is, if someone clicks this button, I need to access, filter down this VIP. I need to filter down which are the persons that having VIP access is true. And I need to send this, and I need to set that as a, here it is an empty value. So I need to set it. That's why it is showing me this one instead of mapping through it. Okay. So that's what it is. So now what I want to do, I want to add a event handler here on click, on click. Okay. On click, this is going to contain VIP handle function. Okay. So this is going to be handle VIP handle function, and here I just going to say a function that is going to handle the VIP handle, and here I just going to say that return, okay, VIP handle, and I just what I need to do is I need to filter that which contains true. So what I want to do is, first I need to say value dot filter, okay, value dot filter, and I just going to pass a function. So we know what is filter method would do, and that is going to contain each and every object. So that is going to be the val. I just going to mention this val, and here I just say val dot uh, val dot PAP. Okay, if it is true, then it will be go inside const. Okay, const filtered value, const filtered value value equal to this one. And once it is done, okay, once it is done, then what I want to do is I need to set the VIP value. So what is the VIP value that I want to set? So the value VIP value that we need to set is going to be the filtered value. Filtered value. Okay. So now let's see. I just going to add a return statement here. Okay, and it is saying that expected assignment function called instead of expression. So line number 24, what we have done, okay, return something, okay, and limit the number of printers to prevent an infinite loop. What happened? Refresh. Okay, we are messed up some. Okay, I think we invoke the function. Yeah, we call the function like this. Okay, now, yeah. So now what I'm going to do, if someone clicks it, you can able to see VIP John is coming. But the problem is we are having the key. So I need to pause the key here. So here it is going to add H1 tag. I just going to say the key is going to be the index that we are fetching here. So I just want to say the ANT. Okay, now let us see the and refresh, refresh. Now there is no error. If I click it here, you can able to see the VIP is going to be the John. So for example, if I started to add a new VIP here, okay, if I started to add, just a minute, okay, sorry for that, I just charged my laptop. Okay, so now if I go here and what I'm going to do, I just going to add a new VIP that is also going to have true as he's a VIP and his name is probably what we can say. Let us say Nabedu sir, Nabedu. Okay, now let us even add it. And now, yeah, now you can see this, and this is going to contain all the lists. If I click it here, you can able to see the John, and you can able to see the John. Okay, those also coming here. You know, so likewise, so it is up to you, whatever you want to do and whatever the things that you like to add, you can add it. And this is how you need to work with that. And you can see that I'm not add any dot inner HTML, add document.get element file. We don't not doing anything because React will do everything for us. The how part, how it is changing, that is taken care of by React. Okay, we don't want to do anything. Okay, so that is the thing. Yeah. So let us do one thing. So that's all for the React workshop. I hope that you will understand a lot and you can able to learn a lot also in this entire workshop. And if you're a beginner, it will be really helpful. And if you are already advanced, just wait for the advanced workshop that will happen in this month. And if you don't want to miss any updates, then you can able to get it just called like you can just click on the bell icon, you will get all the updates. And we are also opening up our next batch for that. And if you want to ask if you want to join with our next boot camp, then damn DM us in the WhatsApp group. You will get the information, the June batch about the personal boot camp. It is a paid batch, and if you like to join, you can join it. And it is still the March batch is going. And yeah, if you want to learn from us, you just join it, and you can able to see what are the updates that you want to learn, thing like that. Okay. So basically that's it. Let me share to the WhatsApp link. Okay. Uh, the Google Form link is fill. Okay. So be in the line. And if you are not in WhatsApp group, just join the WhatsApp group also. Okay. So I will share you the WhatsApp group link in the chat box also. And if you have any doubts, you can. Just a minute. So the Google Form link is shared. If you like to fill the admin form, just fill the admin form. And I'm also sharing you the WhatsApp link. If you like to join, you can join the WhatsApp group also. So the WhatsApp group link is also shared. And yeah, that's it. Just fill it and join it. And if you have any other queries that you want to discuss with me, we can discuss it. And yeah, this is how all our functionality also we will work with, and we will do the things and everything. I think that's all. That's all for today. Anything that you want to discuss, you can discuss. And if you feel like this 4 days is really valuable, just give a like and subscribe. That will really motivate us for a long time. First thing. And the second thing is going to be like this is going to be our last workshop that we're going to take in here in weekdays. So the weekends, we're going to have a long workshop. We're going to have, for example, JavaScript. We're going to conduct a JavaScript workshop on Saturdays. Everything will be happening in only weekdays, weekends, not in the weekdays. So yeah, so this is going to be the last workshop in the weekdays. And you're going to get a lot of project updates also in the upcoming weeks. So if you want to become a full stack developer, don't want to spend any money, then you can utilize the channel and the resources that we are providing it. And we will provide any support that any clearance that you want. You can ask it in the join the WhatsApp group and you can ask it in the WhatsApp group. There will be a separate social media manager will be there to handle your queries and everything. So he will handle everything. He will go it literally helps you out in all the okay. So this all are everything for free, and you can utilize this. Okay. Sure. Okay, guys, that's all. That's all for today. And if you fill the form, pros. Okay. So make sure just give a like and subscribe. See you in the next workshop. Thank you.